A kid left his phone in my yard and I mowed it. Now the mother wants me to pay. So my yard goes pretty close to the neighbor's concrete pad where they have a basketball court set up. Neighborhood kids always go there to play and usually leave their bikes and things on my grass. It's not that big of a deal, except I've had to ask them to move their stuff several times when I'm mowing. This is the first time I've mowed this year, and the grass is a few inches higher than it should be anyway. A kid comes over and I'm mowing, but he still puts the basketball he brought with him down in my grass. I get to the basketball and just decide I can nudge it with the front of the mower and out of the way. I made eye contact with the kid several times waiting for him to move it before I got there, and he never did. So I figured whatever, it'll roll while. I bump it with my mower over to a section of mower grass, and as I continue forward past where it was, there was a loud clunking and crackling like I just run over a rock. The rock turned out to be his iPhone. He was obviously upset that his phone was broken, and I did feel bad, but my thought was that he should have said something or moved it before I got there. He goes home, and about 30 minutes later, his mom shows up and tells me I broke it, and I'm responsible for replacing it, that I should have told him to move his stuff because I am the adult. I tell her I'm sorry about the phone and politely decline her request. She just says, "I promise you will be paying for it," and then storms off. I'm not really sure what her next course of action is or what she plans to do. She mentioned something about she has a friend that's a lawyer, so I guess she could take me to civil court. Am I legally responsible for replacing the phone? Would it be cheaper than court costs if she did choose to take me to court? Well, the mother and son showed up at my door around noon and apologized. She said that she misunderstood what happened and thought that I'd done it on purpose to teach her son a lesson about leaving his stuff in my yard. I guess he explained to her it was his fault, which I thought was commendable for someone his age. She told me that she just stressed about it because she is a single mother and doesn't really have the means to replace it at the moment, and that if it was anything else, she probably wouldn't have gotten so upset. But he likes hanging out with other kids, and that's how she keeps track of him. I told her about my spare phone. iPhone 7 was a 6S. I also took the advice of some of the commenters that it might be damaging to just give it to him, and that I should perhaps have him work for it. I have a detached garage and have been needing to clean it, and told her if he wanted to help me I'd give him the phone. He instantly looked excited. I imagine he felt like he'd never get a new phone, and she acted very grateful and said he could help. Left and came back an hour later. Just the son this time, and we got started cleaning. It took about 4 hours, a lot of work, but nothing too hard. He's just 12. I had a couple cords of firewood I wanted moved out and stacked into a rack, and then a bunch of boxes I cut up and had him bag and carry to the curb. He swept, had a Coke and a couple slices of pizza, then got his phone. I had to talk with him about paying attention to where his things are, because it won't always work out like this. I also told him if he wants to mow my yard every weekend, and his mom says he can, I'll pay him $30 a week. It will probably take him a couple hours. He again acted excited at the thought of making money, and when I asked him what he'd spend it on, he said games. We figured out new games would be about $60, and worked out that I'd pay him $20 for 3 weeks, then $65 on the 4th week so he could cover tax, because it might be hard for him to save. The 4th week he will do an extra little chore to cover the $5, like sweep off the porch or walkway. I hope I've done the right thing, and didn't make him think that everything just works out, but I did my best to have him earn it, and hopefully showed an equal measure of kindness that he will carry with him. I also didn't want the mother to stress over replacing the phone, as my mom was also a single mother, and I know how tough it can be. My own son is just 2, so it was my first real opportunity to pass on some fatherly wisdom, which I hope is what I did. Thanks for your input, everyone. I really appreciate it.